Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Fundamental. Today, we've got a few situations to break down, focusing on shallow fly balls, plays at the plate, and a runner standing up going into second base. Let's dive right in. Our first situation is going to come from the Royals and White Sox game, and we're going to have a shallow pop up here between the first and second baseman. And we're going to see our pitcher does a great job recognizing the first baseman. First baseman is going to have an unoccupied bag with this runner who's on first base off of it. You're going to see he reacts really well. Okay, and plays like this with where the bag is going to be unoccupied with these shallow fly balls down the right field line. This is the pitcher's responsibility to get over to first base in this spot. This really happens in two spots on the field when we have a runner on first base and we have a fly ball pop up down the right field line. We're also going to see the same situation pop up with the runners on third base when there's a shallow fly ball down the left field line. It's the pitcher's responsibility to cover the bag in either one of those situations, and possibly even in a spot where we run on second base and with a shallow fly ball with both the shortstop and second baseman heading on out. All right, it's a pretty crucial thing. It's the teaching point, I think, is that even on routine shallow, anything that's a shallow fly ball, our pitchers need to be ready to cover the bag if there's a runner on base. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, they're pretty crucial, and they're actually great opportunities to turn double plays, very similar to what the Royals end up doing here. Just really well coached. Next up, we're going to have a similar type of ball here with Salvador Perez going to be up. We're going to have a fly ball down the right field line with our first baseman going after it, and his momentum is carrying him away from the play. We're going to have Bobby Witt Jr. on second base, and this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for him to tag up. As the runner in this situation, we need to recognize the momentum of the fielder working away from where the play is going to be happening in this situation. Okay, Taglia's momentum is carrying him away from third base. He has to regather, regroup, cock his arm, throw it over to third base before Bobby Witt can tag up. Just a really good opportunity with momentum working away from the fielder. Our runners have a great shot to tag up. And this type of play happens quite frequently. We've talked about it earlier in the fundamental series. We're also going to have another play happen with a runner on first base. We're going to have Contreras hit a fly ball to center field. You're going to see Johan Rojas, who's a good fielder, go back on this ball. We're going to have Nolan Arenado at first base go back for the tag up in this situation. Even with the momentum carrying Rojas away, Arenado recognizes, okay, this is even with a good fielder, I should say, with the momentum carrying him away from the fielder, from the base, Arenado has a really nice job. He's got a good chance to tag up in the spot, and he does. All right, he's called out, but they challenge it. He ends up being safe on the play. But again, I think the teaching point here is that if the momentum carries our fielder away from where they need to throw, this is going to be a good opportunity for us to tag up. Base running is about creating pressure, and this is just a really nice way to do it, and just two good examples right away of how runners can end up executing this type of play. Our last situation that kind of popped up, we have two different ones at two different bases. We're going to have, from earlier this year, we're going to have Dane Myers at first base. It's first and third, one out. So we have a ground ball to the first baseman, Pete Alonso. You're going to see Dane Myers here is on the grass, taking away that throwing lane from Alonso and making it hard for Acuna to even catch this ball. All right, just good job all around on Dane Myers right away on this play. What I think is worthwhile to also put our attention on is he does a really interesting thing here at the very end where he ends up running through the bag, which is a legal play. And now I'm not going to say that players should be doing this all the time or sometimes. That's not for me to decide. But I think what is, to at least for a player to know, is in crucial situations, okay, playoffs, tight games late, running through in these spots is definitely an advantage play for the offensive team because that shortstop or second baseman has to make a throw around the fielder. All right, but just good job, Dane Myers, all the way around, especially on the first part here. If we're going to just highlight that first one, just working on the infield grass to take away that throwing lane. We're going to see a very similar concept happens with Henry Davis is going to be at third base, and we're going to have a ground ball to the shortstop, I believe, a third baseman. Okay, and you're going to see him trying his best here on a plate to take away that throwing lane. And you can just see how far he's working onto the infield grass. If I go right here, you're talking 3-4 feet on the inside of it. And I think it's just, again, like in crucial spots where we need to have something, taking away the throwing lanes and putting ourselves in a little bit of harm's way, I think is worth the risk. And I think that it's also worth the run. I mean, this is a game changing play, game winning play in some situations. Okay, if he throws this ball away, or if he influences the throw just a little bit and he's safe, he's won the game because of an easy fundamental play. Good job on his part, and I think it's just a credit to the Pirates staff. And that's going to be a wrap for this week's episode of The Fundamental. Thanks for tuning in, and keep an eye out for these small moments in games that can just make the difference for your team and for any team, really.